What is good, everybody? Happy Friday. My favorite day of the week. Chill commentary day. It's fall and the allergies are crazy, so hopefully my voice can get through it. I want to talk today about two things that have been on my mind. Number one, you probably have a little more time to game than you think you do. And number two, games are such an awesome way to connect with others, to create a community, and to create meaningful opportunities to share stories with others. And I think the two overlap big time. I was talking with a friend who I have known for a long time. I think we met gaming like 15 years ago, and we were swapping stories basically about social media apps and things that we've left behind and how easy it is to lose time scrolling on stupid stuff like Reddit or Twitter or whatever. And he mentioned to me that he's playing through Super Mario Sunshine right now in his video game book club. I'm like, what is that? That sounds absolutely awesome. And basically what he shared is he and his high school friends who were super tight have grown a little bit apart, or were growing a little bit apart as they are in the professional world, families, relationships, all that stuff. They just weren't finding time to connect. So they came up with the concept of picking 5 games every month, kind of throwing it in a hat, and the whole group of these high school friends picks one game to play for that month. And at the end, they have a big Discord call, talk about their experience with the game, reconnect, and even if they didn't play the game, it's this way for them to still maintain the friendship and find opportunity to share stories with each other. And I thought that concept was freaking awesome. It resonates with me on so many levels. Number one, being intentional, picking a game, playing it, getting through it. There's something really nice about that. This has been that kind of year for me. I mean, if you've been watching the channel, you know we got through Pseudo Regalia, Lunistis, Half-Life 2, Ocarina of Time. I'm being really intentional with the games I'm picking and playing, and it's almost like reading a book. There's something so nice about choosing it, and obviously you can put it down if you don't enjoy it, but there's something so nice about picking something that has a beginning, middle, and end. But then the second part that I love about this so much that I need to work on more, just maintaining the relationship with a recurring scheduled thing, you know, with friends, is genius. Because as you get older, your schedule doesn't get easier. If you're just sort of sitting back waiting for your free time to magically align with your friend's free time, that's like never going to happen unless you intentionally set up a time for it, unless you plan for it. And I'm really guilty of this. I have a notepad of like these little things I've written to myself, like respond to this text, respond to this friend's email, touch base on this thread or whatever, because there's so much going on every day. I'll get a message from a friend and want to answer it, but it's like work. I got stuff to do. I can't hop in this right now. I have to remember to do it. And then weeks go by and I feel trash because I'm like, am I a bad friend? I'm not putting in the effort here. How do I resolve this? And I know to stay cultivating those connections, you have to put in the time and the effort to set up an opportunity to connect. And that's something that I want to, work on with a few friends. But anyway, going back to that social media conversation, this friend brought up something interesting, right? He noted at the end of the week how much time he was spending on Reddit. And I thought to myself, okay, well, I don't really use social media, right? Facebook has been cringe for a while, at least to me. It is funny, by the way, side tangent. Let me know if this is the case for you. Seeing all of my grandparents get on Facebook the last few years and watching them use it is horrifying. It is like watching them go through the whole journey and arc that our generation did with social media, but they're at the beginning stages. They are like children in some ways, where they will argue about the dumbest things, post the dumbest things, and use it on all the worst ways that social media can be used and not even realize it. I wonder if in 5, 6, 7 years or whatever, if they will come out of that journey kind of landing at the spot where I feel like our generation has, which is sort of like, hey, social media is not that great. There's cool parts about it, but there's a lot of people in our age range who have ditched it for a reason. Okay, tangent aside though, The two sites that are my vices are Twitter and YouTube, because anytime I'm in the workday and I'm bored, or more realistic, I reach a task that is challenging, that I don't want to do, I want a mental break, I muscle memory open up Twitter or I open up YouTube. Now, Twitter, I needed to get rid of Twitter a while ago. I mean, I convince myself and say, well, I go there for the memes. I go there to stay on top of gaming news. But every time I go there, 80% of the experience is just weird things suggested on your timeline, dumb news, things that I don't care about. But since those apps are built to keep you engaged, it's just so easy to robotically scroll. And then YouTube, oh my gosh, I love YouTube. I think it is awesome. And if the algorithm is firing right, it can give you so many cool videos to watch. And I just love scrolling the homepage. I love just looking at that wall of videos and seeing thumbnails and concepts and adding to my watch later folder. And that watch later folder just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I've thought about this the last few months. I'm like, oh my gosh, over the course of the day, I bet I'm spending like 30 minutes plus on this, an hour plus somehow. If you cumulatively added all of this time together, it's way more than I think it is. And this isn't really activities that enrich my life or provide something that I really want to do. There's better ways to spend that time. And I'll pose it to you like this. This is the way I think about it. Let's say it is 30 minutes a day. What can you do in 30 minutes? That's something you really want to do for yourself, like as a hobby or a craft or something you want to improve at. And the answer is you can do a lot. 30 minutes a day practicing the piano goes a very long way. 30 minutes a day on a game, you could be through a 10-hour game in just a few weeks. Maybe you want to get better at drawing. Maybe you want to improve at writing or video editing or photo editing. And this is an area I want to improve at. Because while I love the whole digital minimalism thing, I'm never going to get rid of the smartphone. I want to improve self-control and intentionality instead of having to just, get rid of the technology altogether. And I will say the last few months have been so rewarding and nice with gaming because I'm purposely trying to play games I want to complete, or I want to talk about an experience with others. I don't feel like I've wasted any time on games where I've gotten to connect with friends. The old Halo 2 story translates even to the modern day. I played a lot of Destiny 1, like a lot of that game. But those are some of my favorite gaming memories because I got to make friends from all over the world, friends I still talk to this day. And I'm not a big regret person, but if I could go back, the games and the time that I would allocate differently would be the grindy games where I wasn't connecting really with a community and I wasn't really enjoying it all that much. I guess what I'm trying to say is your time is valuable and you don't get more of it. And as you get older, you have less and less free time. And I think the more you can be intentional with how you spend that time, and especially finding ways to connect with friends and with a community, it only is beneficial. And I kind of wish I would have seen all of this a little bit sooner. Like, I'm not, again, into regrets. This is a year, though, where I feel like I'm growing or changing or whatever. I don't want to sound arrogant. I'm improving or whatever, but I do view social media, grindy games, live service stuff really differently. And time is way more valuable. I don't know, it was just inspiring hearing how that group of high school friends is still finding a way to share a common interest like gaming, experiencing new games that they maybe wouldn't play, and then also just maintaining and growing those friendships. I thought that was a really cool thing. Do you have any similar things that you or your friends do, or any tips about intentional time spent, like with gaming or friends or whatever? I'd be really curious, any systems or things that you do personally. And on top of all of that, I want to say a huge thank you for 200,000 subscribers. We passed the mark earlier this week. thank you. I try not to look at analytics or be too analytically focused because, again, anytime I start chasing algorithm stuff, I feel like I create worse videos. And I just want to make things that are authentic, that try and help people or entertain them in some way. But this was a really cool milestone, and I just want to thank every one of you for being a part of this awesome community. I'm so appreciative that I get to create videos and just be a part of this. So cheers. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again on Monday.